Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. We got XRP up here on the daily right now, trading just shy of 74 cents. You know, I wish I could talk more about price action. Right now, we are just kind of in a wait and see period for all altcoins and for Bitcoin as well. You can see XRP trading on very low volume at this moment in time. We haven't really seen any kind of push up or push down. You guys can see over here too, right? All the activity, a lot of the fun and games was in and around here, okay? This first part of 2020, about the first half of 2020. Then we saw a lower volume here. It did kind of vacillate back and forth before we saw the SEC lawsuit verdict, and this was the time period where we saw a lot of trading volume. And then up here, okay, that time where XRP reached its inter-year high, here is where we also saw some volume, but ever since then, guys, ever since this downturn, this significant correction back in the spring and summer, even though we've seen XRP price go up, this has stayed relatively low as it's been since late 2019. So not a lot of interested parties trading XRP at this moment in time. And guys, if I bring up the Bitcoin chart, a little bit of a different trend. However, something also that we should be paying attention to, which I have mentioned, very, very low volume over here as Bitcoin has reached its all-time high. Right now, Bitcoin's trading at about $41,800. So at this moment, Bitcoin is still holding this level of support. Again, not too different from yesterday, still holding that level of support, and we're just kind of in a wait and see period. Now, here's a thought, a bit of an out-of-the-box theory. I know some are saying Bitcoin's in its bear market. Others are saying Bitcoin is just poised for another move up to make higher highs. And whatever side of the line you stand on, bear with me. Here's a third option, all right? What do you guys think of this? This was brought up by BondCrypt XRP. Experts believe crypto bear market is here as social trends predict bearish sentiment and that bear markets are becoming shorter in duration. So just listen to this. Analysts believe that the cryptocurrency bear market has arrived based on social trends and investor sentiment. Proponents argue that the current bear market is shorter than previous ones. Traders believe that the crypto bull market is over. Based on data from crypto intelligence platform Sentiment, social trends from traders confirm that cryptocurrencies are in an official bear market. The bearish sentiment from May 2021 is prevalent in 2022 as capitulation by new investors and traders continue. So this goes on to say, this tweet from Sentiment, our social trends data confirms that the trading crowd feels very much as though crypto is in an official bear market. So that's just crowd sentiment. Mid-May was the last time bearish sentiment was this prevalent, which is a very promising sign that weak hands are capitulating. BitBoy Crypto put in his 2 cents. In my opinion, the bear market is here. It's here to stay, but not for a long time. I expect a real custody ETF to launch this year or the beginning of next year, creating another massive rally beforehand. So you can read some of these tweets down here of what people are thinking. I think the major point I wanted to bring to your attention was this idea that okay, we could be in a bear market. It is indeed possible. But could they be considering this a bear market before that next push to the upside? And guys, if you remember, I'm sure a lot of you guys were here at this point. This only took about 3 months, just over 3 months, about 100 days of bearish movement before we started making our way to the upside. And it took about 212 days before we saw a new all-time high. So whereas in the past, we would have seen bear markets go for much longer than that in 2013 up until January of 2015, which was the bottom of that bear market. That went on for about 409 days. And over here in 2017 or early 2018, the bear market did go on for only about 360 days before we saw that turnaround. So is this what we're seeing, guys? Are we seeing shorter bear markets, in fact? And, maybe throughout the beginning of 2022, we could see a bit of a bearish run, but by mid-2022, we could see that rally continue. Something to be paying attention to, of course, connected to the overall market. This one brought to us by Michael at Val5 Links. How, he says, you're out of ammo? We will use our tools, this is a quote, we will use our tools to support the economy and a strong labor market and to prevent higher inflation from becoming entrenched. He said in a statement, prepared for delivery. This is coming from Jerome Powell, the Fed chair. U.S. central bank chief says he will tackle higher inflation. So he will reiterate his pledge to prevent entrenched inflation in testimony released before the Senate nomination hearing on Tuesday. Here are some fast facts. We will use our tools, as Michael mentioned, we will use our tools to support the economy and a strong labor market. I mean, these guys are running out of tools. I don't know how they can continue to do this. Down here in November, U.S. consumer prices rose by 6.8% compared to the same period in 2020 in its biggest spike since 1982. So huge levels of inflation. Powell is due to start his second four-year term as Federal Reserve Chair in February. And since the beer flu outbreak in 2020, investors have turned to Bitcoin as a hedge against inflation. So see, these are just some counterpoints to this. But in recent weeks, Bitcoin has underperformed, failing to break through the highly anticipated $100,000 level to close out 2021. So a couple points here about Bitcoin, but Fed Chair Jerome Powell saying we will continue to use the tools supplied by us to try to promote a strong economy, strong labor market, and to prevent higher inflation from becoming entrenched. So they are saying, if we do not do anything, higher inflation could be a possibility. And so, just going back to this, bringing up the entire cryptocurrency market, the total crypto market cap, again, this is not necessarily a sign of a bear market. If we look at the total market, we still are retracing up until this level here. We could still see a move to the upside. It still is a possibility. The other thing is we have not, if we were to see a traditional bear market like we've seen in the past, and this is as low as it's going to go. It might go even lower than that. We still need to see that Bitcoin retracement to the 702, and we need to see alts pop, right? We need to see Bitcoin dominance go way down, which it still has not done. Oops, let me just bring that up here. Bitcoin dominance has not even gone way down yet. It is still touching these former support levels that we saw back in May, back in September, when altcoins did take a bit of a lead against Bitcoin. But, if I zoom out here just to kind of show you guys where we were back in 2017, we did see Bitcoin reach these levels here, going way further down and around here, 35%. So we haven't really seen those altcoins take off compared to Bitcoin. We have not even really seen that Bitcoin rally yet. So it's still kind of difficult to determine. Wanted to bring this up to you guys because Temenos, a huge company with regards to how much business they conduct, and now they are extending their relationship with Red Hat. So just to give you guys some context here, for those of you guys who may be new to the XRP community or may just not know this, Temenos T24 core banking solution did integrate with Ripple technology. This article was from 6 years ago, but it is important to note Temenos is Ripple enabled and have been for quite a while by fully integrating Ripple blockchain technology into Temenos T24 by using the Bluzelle Altitude Gateway. A new standard for bank-to-bank settlements can be created. There is a growing demand for faster settlement procedures, preferably in real time, and the Ripple protocol provides financial institutions with the technology to realize this potential. So again, from a while ago, now Temenos extends their relationship with Red Hat. So the banking software company has extended its strategic partnership with Red Hat, the world's leading provider of enterprise open source solutions, by integrating Red Hat Process Automation Manager with Temenos Infinity cloud native digital banking services. With this integration, business processes underpinning onboarding and origination journeys are modeled and delivered via Red Hat Process Automation Manager, an industry-standard enterprise-grade tool that can enable banks to deliver faster, frictionless digital and onboarding journeys across multiple channels. The collaboration further enables Temenos and Red Hat to leverage their respective technologies and expertise to accelerate the growth of digital banking on hybrid cloud infrastructures across banking segments. So Temenos already does quite a bit of business now connecting with Red Hat. Red Hat does $3.4 billion in revenue, and these are 2018 numbers, so this is some older data. Red Hat Inc. is an American IBM subsidiary software company that provides open source software products and enterprises. They were founded in 1993. And so just to kind of give you guys a sense, today Red Hat makes its money not from selling any product, but by selling services. Open source, a radical notion. Also just up here, in 2012, Red Hat became one of the first $1 billion open source companies, reaching $1.13 billion in annual revenue during its fiscal year. Red Hat passed the $2 billion mark in 2015, and by 2018, over $3 billion in revenue. So a pretty big company now integrated with another huge banking integration system. Again, secondary, tertiary partnerships on the rise with RippleNet-enabled software. So I think that's pretty big news. Wanted to keep moving, guys. The Wrath of Kahneman brought this to our attention. Adventures in interoperability. So this has to do with Infinitex. They're going to be paying dividends in XRP. An Infinitex, I think that's how you pronounce that, an XRP reward rebase token on the BSC network. The team behind Infinitex has devised the perfect solution for sustainability with tokenomics itself. The rebase mechanism in the smart contract will allow a steadier floor with constant upward pressure. Holders receive automatic XRP rewards redistributed to them. The greater the amount of Infinitex tokens you hold, the greater the rewards will be. So the long-term benefits of holding this token is through the aspirations of the team to develop a true gaming ecosystem on the BSC. So you can be rewarded, guys, if you do hold Infinitex tokens. You can be rewarded with XRP. And the story continues down here. The notion that Infinitex can provide passive income to all is very possible with the initial starting market cap of $15,000. The project has already gained plenty of momentum and has sustained an upward trend since launch. Infinitex happens to be a bank with a savings account for their investors, where investors feel safe and comfortable with the growth of their investment while enjoying all the XRP rewards along the way. The fact that they are a far more attractive savings than other investments in a bank, along with dividends in XRP that are being redistributed several times a day directly into hodlers' wallets. These things differentiate the Infinitex from traditional financial investments. And I think that we are going to see more and more of this, right? If you are going to be rewarded in whether it's XRP or any other cryptocurrency, in this case, it just happens to be XRP. But I think, if you are going to be rewarded with cryptocurrency tokens by holding something else in a specific account, I think considering, where the world is right now, the fact that Fed Chair Jerome Powell says, they're going to continue to use the tools at their disposal to help prevent higher inflation, right? If fiat money is crashing to the ground, as some may say, the powers that be, they want it to go in that direction. Well, we, the people, we have to maintain our wealth. We have to preserve our wealth. And so I think, accounts like this are going to be becoming more popular, not only in 2022, but beyond. So interesting news there. Wanted to thank the Wrath of Kahneman for posting that. And another one here, guys, from Mac Attack XRP, SEC boss won't say if Ethereum is a security or not. Now, this has just come out. This was just from an interview yesterday with Gary Gensler on CNBC. US SEC Chair Gary Gensler refused to comment on whether Ethereum is an unregistered security, the question at the center of the high-stakes Ripple lawsuit. Here's a quote: "We don't get involved in these type of public forums," he said, talking about any one project, one possible circumstance, and give legal advice over the airways that way. Gensler says that thousands of cryptocurrency projects are trying to raise money from the public, but it is important for them to share a relevant set of disclosures with investors. The SEC boss also bemoaned the lack of compliance within the industry, claiming way too many cryptocurrency projects that are securities are trying to masquerade as something else in order not to go through the hassle of registering with the SEC, unfortunately. And so there's another quote down here in this article, but I also have a clip of Gary Gensler up here brought to me by Tim R614 on Twitter. Here's what Gensler had to say.
Well, Andrew, you don't understand why I won't maybe comment on any one project, but you raise an interesting point. Crypto tokens, I will call them, are raising money from the public. And are they sharing with the public the same sets of disclosures that helps the public decide? And are they complying with our sort of truth in advertising? Call it the Securities Act anti-fraud provisions. And so there's thousands of these projects. You named one, but there are thousands of these projects basically trying to raise money from the public so that they can back an entrepreneurial idea. Well, that part's all right. That, in fact, is called innovation. But it's about bringing it into the securities laws, and unfortunately, way too many of these are trying to say, well, we're not a security, we're just something else. And I think that the facts and circumstances suggest they're investment contracts, they're securities, and they should register.
We had a lot of viewers sending questions, and one which relates to this issue is, can you explain your view of whether Ethereum is a security or not? I think you've actually suggested it isn't, but then why you believe that Ripple is a security. And I know there's an ongoing lawsuit related to Ripple, but could you speak to the Ethereum issue?
Andrew, just to have a little fun with you, refer back to my earlier question. I'm not going to speak to any one matter, and so your listeners understand it.
Okay, and I'm going to leave it there. Gensler dodging the question as always, but I think it's important, guys, this is on CNBC, so another mainstream news outlet that is addressing the question directly to SEC Chair Gary Gensler. Slowly but surely, this SEC Ripple lawsuit is gaining momentum and traction in the mainstream media. So I think this is important, especially considering cryptocurrencies are a burgeoning asset class. They are becoming more popular, not just in the United States but globally. Tag XRP down here even saying Gary Gensler is actually not looking nearly as confident as he used to. May I add, in my opinion, it looks like he's actually getting frustrated. Well, how does it feel, Gary? You're not the one with your family's investment in purgatory. You can live your lavish life, and I think a lot of people in the XRP community feel the same way. I got to thank Tag for bringing that up. Gary Gensler can't get it through his thick skull that this is a new asset class. It needs new rules and guidelines. No one is saying they may not have been securities, but to attack the asset is absolutely unhinged. I could not agree more. So there Gary Gensler is again just yesterday, so not too long ago, just yesterday on CNBC, dodging the question. Although, to Tag's point here, he is looking more frustrated these days, isn't he? Gonna keep moving, guys, because I saw this from XRRP here on Twitter. Grayscale removed this reference to the SEC speeches about Ethereum not being a security in their later reports. This is from 2018, and so you guys can see this is just a statement. The SEC has stated that certain digital assets may be considered securities, yada yada. This part here, the highlighted part, public statements by senior officials at the SEC, including a June 2018 speech by the director of the SEC's Division of Corporate Finance, aka William Hinman, indicate that the SEC does not intend to take the position that Bitcoin or Ethereum are currently securities. Subsequently, in a March 2019 statement, the chair of the SEC expressed agreement with certain statements from the June 2018 speech by the director of the SEC's Division of Corporate Finance, including the analysis of federal securities laws that the director applied to Bitcoin and Ethereum. So that was from the 2018 report. And if you scroll down here, XRRP also posted this same screen grab from the same paragraph with that statement removed. And this was from 2021. No mention of the SEC speech whatsoever. So I will link this tweet thread in the description if you guys want to comment. Interesting to note that he also links the Grayscale link here. Sorry, did I say that was from the SEC? That's from Grayscale. He links the link here in this tweet thread, so if you guys want to go to it directly, you can as well. And so what about that fair notice defense, guys? Is it going to hold up? I think this is kind of what most in the XRP community are wondering about this case specifically, because that is going to hold a lot of weight, or bear a lot of weight on if Ripple wins the case or not. Well, Jeremy Hogan, guys, has come out on Twitter and says why Ripple's fair notice defense survives the SEC's motion to strike. Jeremy Hogan, very positive about this, and he takes us back to the Kik Interactive case. In the Kik Interactive case, the court ruled against Kik on the fair notice defense, as seen in the order below, which distinguished the Upton case. However, the adverse ruling was a summary judgment and not a motion to strike. So he brings this up here in Upton. The SEC had been inconsistent in its enforcement of a rule as applied to the same practice occurring consistently across the industry for years. By contrast, as Kik acknowledges, every cryptocurrency, along with the issuance thereof, is different and requires a fact-specific analysis. Furthermore, the vagueness inquiry does not call for a factual investigation into whether a statute has led to arbitrary enforcement. It asks objectively whether the statute authorizes or even encourages arbitrary and discriminatory enforcement. So that's what happened with Kik. He goes on to say, for the Ripple court to distinguish the Upton case, it would have to refer to things outside of the lawsuit. For example, whether the SEC was inconsistent in enforcement across the industry for years, or whether the statute authorizes discriminatory enforcement. Reference to outside evidence is not proper in a motion to strike. Analysis should be limited to whether Ripple plead the defense properly. See below. Therefore, I believe the court should not strike Ripple's fair notice defense. Whether the fair notice defense wins at summary judgment, a 100% different analysis. So Jeremy Hogan believes the court should not strike the fair notice defense just based on, the Kik Interactive case, what we have seen there. Of course, we are still waiting for January 19th. That is the big day, guys. That's when we're going to get some answers here. It is January 11th, so this is only 8 days away. It's getting exciting, and, it could mean that the crypto market is poised for another move in the right direction. If we do get some kind of clarity in the Ripple XRP case, of course, XRP could certainly move to the upside. I definitely think other cryptocurrencies like Stellar's XLM would likely follow. But what could this cascading effect mean, guys? Could it also mean other altcoins will rally? And will that be the time Bitcoin price falls? Or will Bitcoin rally as well? There's so much money in this market now, way more than before, so several question marks are still looming overhead. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.